Hey, it's Jerry Norton, and on this video, I want to help you decide the best strategy for you to make money in real estate. Now, when you think about it, when you get started in real estate, you've got lots of different choices. There's lots of different ways that you can make money, lots of different strategies. Choosing the right one for you can be daunting and overwhelming. Well, I'm going to help you make that decision. There are really two major things you have to look at that you have to take into consideration when choosing the right strategy for you. First is your time involved in real estate and the speed of money. Now, what's the speed of money? Let's start there. When I look at the speed of money, I'm really looking at three different speeds. And there are strategies that correlate with that speed of money. So I'll break this down for you. First is fast. Fast speed money. This is where you do something today and you get paid out on it very quickly. And in real estate, this would be wholesaling. Now, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is where you're going to go out and you're going to find a great deal and you're going to get it under contract with a seller. And then you're going to turn around and you're going to flip your contract, assign your contract to an end buyer. And this is an investor who's going to come in and rent it or flip it. And so you're passing the deal off to them. You get paid out up front. Now, typical wholesale deals make about $15,000 per deal. So you're going to put in a bunch of effort and right away you're going to make $15,000. That would be a fast speed money strategy. Now the second one would be medium. Now medium speed would be like a fix and flip. Now fix and flip is typically 4 months, maybe all the way up to 12 months, depending on the deal. So you're going to buy a deal, you're going to get funding, you're going to take ownership of it, you're going to make improvements to it, you're going to put it back up for sale, and you're going to sell it for top dollar. Now again, all of that might take 4 months, 6 months typically for a fix and flip. And this is medium because you're putting in effort today, but you're not seeing any money for that effort for 6 to 12 months. And maybe a typical deal here is, let's just say $50,000, okay? So bigger payoff, but you gotta wait longer to get it. And then the third type would be slow money. And slow money would be like a rental. It might be being a private money lender, and this is more passive. And this would be like, let's say you're doing something that's making $500 a month, like a rental or lending money out to an investor. And that's very slow, right? You're not making a lot of money, you're making a little bit of money. It's trickling in, and that would be slow speed money. Okay, so with this context of fast, medium, slow, you need to be picking the strategies that are appropriate at your given time in your journey, in your real estate journey. So for example, let's say that you have really good active income. Okay, you're a doctor, lawyer, maybe you're a business owner, and you're bringing in really good active income. And so that part of your life is being met. That's meeting your standard of living, it's paying your bills, and hopefully it's creating some excess cash. So then what? Well, maybe then the right strategy for you would be to focus on some medium speed strategies where now, hey, I'm making some pretty good money, but I'd like to start making some chunks of money. Maybe if I did a couple flips every year, I could add another $100,000 to my annual income. Maybe that's a good idea, and you're going to start thinking about medium speed money. Maybe you're not interested at all in extra cash, right? Because fast and medium speed money, these are transactional. You have to transact. I tell people when you're doing fast and medium, wholesaling or fix and flip, you're out of business every time you do a deal because no more money comes in until when you do another deal, right? So you have to keep doing deals. So the idea here is you're going to trade time for money. Do I need the money right away? I'll take a smaller amount of money up front, pass the deal off. I get that money right away, right up front. Or, hey, I'm willing to stay in the deal for a little bit longer, 4 to 6 months. I don't need any money coming in. I've got that covered. And so I'm okay to go for a bigger chunk of money, like a $50,000 fix and flip. Maybe that makes more sense. Or let's say you've got all your active income covered. You don't really need additional income annually, right, to your active side. And you're like, well, I need to start focusing on passive income. The way you get wealthy is with passive income or slow speed money. The way that you make a lot of money quickly and get rich is with fast and medium speed money. See the difference? So for me, for example, I do a lot of fast and medium speed deals. So I make a lot of money. I transact millions of dollars in profit, net profit annually doing these strategies. So there's a couple ideas here. One is, like I said, you will never get wealthy just transacting. First of all, it's taxed at the highest rate. And second, you have to keep being active to keep making the money. The hack strategy, the workaround to that, is build a business that is doing the heavy lifting, right? So the business owns the operations. The business owns all of the steps down in the trenches to bring the active income in. For example, I've got partner operators in my wholesale businesses, and they're on the ground. They go on the appointments, they get the contracts, they find the buyers, and I'm in a more passive role in that business where I'm more of a strategic leader. I'm on the finance side, but I'm not involved in the day-to-day, although I'm a partner, right? So now I'm in the owner's box and the business operates without me doing the day-to-day. That's one way around an active income model. In a way, it's somewhat passive. It's not totally passive, but it's somewhat passive because I'm not doing the heavy liftings. Now, how do you turn a fast speed money business or a medium speed money business into a business model that isn't requiring you day to day? Well, you got to have the right team. So this requires team, it requires systems and processes and leadership, right? Like this is how you build a business that operates without you. Okay? It's got to have people, it's got to have technology, and it's got to have processes that can operate without you. That's how you really build these out. Okay, so again, going back to this, if you have some time, but you don't have money, you don't have active income coming in, but you got a lot of time or some time, where do you start? Well, in that situation, you have to start here because you don't have active income coming in. Or maybe you're trying to replace your active income with a job that's not really going anywhere. There's a ceiling on your income, or you don't like it, or you're not really gonna go anywhere. That was me. When I got started, I was in a minimum wage construction job going nowhere. So I needed to quickly replace my current active income with a fast speed strategy that would then not only pass up my current active income, but blow it out of the water. And that's what happened as I started wholesaling. I started doing 3 to 5 deals a month with no team, all by myself, just hustling. And I started transacting $25,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month in revenue and made more money in 1 month than I was making in a year at my job. Okay. But what did I do? I traded one very poorly active income strategy to a much better, highly still active income strategy, wholesaling. Okay. But if you stay in that box forever, then all you're going to do is work hard, transact, make a lot of money, pay a lot of taxes. See the problem? If you want to move out of that box, you either change strategies or you build a business around that strategy that will still allow you to step out of that role, the day-to-day role, see what I mean? And then go into different strategies. So that's what I've done. I've built these businesses doing both wholesaling and fix and flip. I'm one of the best educators in the country around this. I'm one of the best operators. I have a lot of experience, 20 years now doing thousands of deals, and I love doing it. So that's part of it is I love transacting. I love the art of the deal. I love getting in and out. I have a very, ADD personality, so lots of different movement in these businesses is super fun. And so I do this at a high level. I really like this and do this well. And it makes me a lot of money. But if I ever want to walk away, then what do I got to focus on? I got to move over here and start to focus on slow speed money. Now, I do this really well. I own multiple softwares. Those softwares pay me on a subscription model. So I have lots of passive income coming in through other things that are slow speed, right? So it doesn't have to be a rental property. I also love private money lending. My end game is to become a private money lender and lend out my money to earn passive income. I like that a little bit better than rentals. To me, rentals aren't ever really totally passive because they still need lots of upkeep and work, right? So that's for me. Now, other people might disagree and really like rental. You can expand that to multifamily. So now you've got an apartment building that's 300 doors, and maybe that's super passive. But one way or another, you need to be thinking about these different speeds of money. So here's what I propose to you. In the beginning, if you're in a situation, which is most people, where you have some time and no money, okay? Not enough money to where you can skip these and go right to slow. Some people do. Some people can skip that. You know, I've got some clients that are private money lenders for me. They lend me their money and they have really high active income. They have tons of cash and they're working on slow. So they're either investing in rentals or they're lending me their money to earn passive income. Okay, they're skipping these two. Not everybody has to be a transactioneer. Not everybody has to transact fast and medium speed deals to make money. Some people can skip it. And if that's you, great, skip these two. Don't spend your time involved in these business models. Skip right to the slow. Go buy some rental properties. Go lend your money out as a private money lender. Do the passive income and start building up this leg of your income. Because you can. That's maybe 10% of the people that I talk to. The other 90% of people are in these two buckets. Okay, now, what does this look like? This means for me, here's how I think about fast and medium, is in year one, when you first start year one, this needs to be probably 100% of your focus. Don't do medium yet, and I'll tell you why in a second. You want to get into the business, learn how to transact, learn how to identify a deal. Number one skill you can learn. What is a good deal and how do I go find one? Find good deals, recognize them, know how to run numbers, know how to contract, and know how to find buyers. Okay, that's what I teach quite a bit of. And guys, if you want to learn how to do this at a super high level, I teach this in my mentor program. It's a small community. I teach people how to get their first deal, go on to 6 figures, and then go on to 7 figures. Transacting, doing wholesaling and flipping. It's really cool. Go to fasttrackwithjerry.com to learn more about that program. But in the beginning, you want to focus all of your energy on fast money. You got to get the money coming in. Okay? You want to be transacting every single month. My goal is in a wholesale business, you should be transacting $100,000 a month in revenue before you even consider moving into these other areas. Now that's a general rule. It doesn't have to be exactly 100,000, but my point is consistent every single month doing 3 to 5 deals. So this should be building 3 to 5 deals a month, and this should be, let's just call it 50 to 100K in revenue. Okay, and you can look at that either way. You can look at gross 100, net 50. My point though is that you've got a lot of money coming in. It's coming in very quickly. It's padding your bank account. It's getting you out of a job. It's allowing you to live a better lifestyle, letting you drive nice cars, have a nice house, go on vacations. It's giving you lifestyle. Income's coming in. You're not really investing because wholesaling isn't investing, it's transacting, it's trading, really. You're a trader because you're never even owning anything. Okay, so that's wholesaling. Year one, 100%. And when I say year one, it could be, you could get here in 6 months, maybe it takes you longer than a year. The point though is that you're consistently transacting deals at a high level and you're making fast cash. Okay, let's say that that's what you did and you got that dialed in. You join my Fast Track program. I show you exactly how to build the business and you get really good at this. Okay, now what does year 2 look like? Well, year 2 is going to look like this. This now for year 2 is going to be 80%, and then maybe this is 20%, fix and flip. Okay, so this is year 2. We're going like this. Okay, so in year 2, you're going to still transact fast cash. You're not going to just step away from that. You can't. You need that fast cash coming in. In fact, a lot of your cash still needs to be transactional, needs to be fast. That's wholesaling. So year 2, maybe it's 80-20. You're going to keep wholesaling 80% of your deals, but then you're going to start to take on one. Maybe it's 1 out of 10 deals you keep as a fix and flip. When we do this, we're going to be very, very strategic. We're going to be very careful about this. This has to be what I call a home run deal. Do not fix and flip for $25,000. Why would you do that? Just wholesale it. You'll make way more money for the time, energy, and effort wholesaling than you will fixing and flipping. But if you can take a home run deal that makes 6 figures, this thing makes $100,000, maybe that's worth taking on. Now you're going to divert some energy. You're going to divert some bandwidth, some team, some resources. Now you got to raise money. You got to start learning about capital. You're not going to see that $100,000 for 6 months. So what are you doing for 6 months? Well, you're okay because you're transacting over here with your fast income. You're okay to take on a little bit of medium income. I'll give you an example. I've got a deal right now where I bought it for $500,000. We spent $100,000 on the rehab. It was cosmetic. Took me 30 days to do the rehab. So I'm all in for $600,000. Put it up for sale. Got a buyer right away for $805,000. We close next week. Now I'm gonna net, after commissions, closing fees, all the things, I'm gonna net $150,000 on one deal. It was medium speed, took me about 4 months end to end, and that was a deal that I kept. It was a home run deal. I did not wholesale it, I kept that one, and I fixed and flipped it and made the big money. Now notice here in year 2, we're not even touching slow speed money. It's not time yet. Guys, everything is developmental. It's all about the right time. People get this order all messed up, and that's how you get screwed up. I've seen fix and flippers go out of business and bankrupt, and they were doing tons of deals. Why? Because they were bleeding money out, money out, money out, and they did not manage their cash flow. Too much money going out, too much debt, too much payments to lenders, not enough money coming in. Okay, so this is very important that you learn this. Then maybe year 3, let's go to year 3. What does year 3 look like? Year 3 is gonna look like this. Year 3 is maybe 10%. This is gonna keep it at 20%, and then this bumps down to 70% by year 3. So year 3, you're still transacting a lot of fast speed money. You're not losing sight of that. 70% of what you're doing is fast speed money. 20% of what you're doing is medium speed money at a high level, home run deals only. And then maybe you're like, you know what? 1 out of 10 deals I do, this one's an amazing rental. I'm gonna keep this one and start building a portfolio. I'm 3 years in, I'm learning how to run a business. I'm getting better and better at team system processes and leadership. I'm attracting talent. I'm doing this at a high level. I'm making a lot of money. Now I need to start focusing on some slow speed money. And over time, this will slowly, carefully, methodically, strategically shift, if you wanted to, shift into building up more passive income, okay? Like I've got a really good friend of mine, Pace Morby. Pace Morby, he's transitioned very quickly out of the fast and medium speed deals. He still does wholesaling, he still does fix and flip, he still does this at a fairly high level considering most people, but this is not his primary focus. His primary focus is over here on slow speed, building out a big portfolio, creating residual income. I'm in the same boat. Now I don't do all of it with real estate, but I'm very much in the mindset of how do I keep transacting fast and medium speed, keep that going. That's my pay bills money, that's my get rich money. At the same time, I'm thinking, how do I keep building up my slow speed money so that if and when I ever want to walk away, I don't want to be active anymore, which isn't yet, if I ever want to not be so active, I can rely on this now because this is coming in without me doing the effort anymore. I did the things up front to create the effort and do the effort to create the income over time. Okay, so someone says to me, Jerry, should I buy a rental? What's my answer? Where are you at? What's your time? What's your income look like right now? And what makes the most sense? Do you need to create active income? Can you skip the active income and go right for the slow speed income? It all depends on your current situation. All of this is developmental. So one of the biggest things I teach people, real estate is developmental. You start where you're at and you build from there. And guys, if you look at my story, it's the most boring story ever because it's not a get rich quick. It's not a sensational overnight success. It's a slow 20-year grind at this business. I started in real estate wholesaling 20 years ago in Detroit. And now, after 20 years of working at this, trying to get 1% better every day or every year, I'm now hitting these milestones. I'm hitting these strides, and the strides are getting bigger and better. Why? Because I've invested in the process. I've taken the time to get good at the thing and then move into the next thing. Get good at that thing and move into the next thing. If you want to learn how to transact a wholesaling and fix and flip business to 6 and 7 figures, that's my favorite thing to teach. That's what I do in my Fast Track program. Just go to fasttrackwithjerry.com. It is a very small, limited group size that we do, very small community. So we will not let you in our Fast Track program unless it's the right fit. And it doesn't matter about experience. I don't care if you've never done a deal. What it's about is, are you in the right spot mentally in your life? Are you willing to put in the time to do this correctly? And are you coachable? If that's you, then my Fast Track program will get you to 6 figures and even 7 figures. That's transacting $1 million a year. My different wholesale and flipping businesses in different markets, we transact $1 million a year in each of those markets. And I have multiple markets doing that. So I can show you how to do that. Go to fasttrackwithjerry.com and I'll see you on the next video.